Welcome to the Tuesday, November 15, 2016 Village of Peoria Heights Board of Trustees meeting. Meeting is now called to order. Would you please rise and join us in the pledge of the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our village clerk could not be here tonight, so we need a motion from the board to appoint Administrator Fick to handle the minutes tonight.
So moved.
Have a motion from Trustee Cumming.
Second.
Second from Trustee Mariscal. All those in favor of appointing Administrator Fick to handle the meeting minutes tonight, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say no. Amazingly enough, Mr. Administrator, you are now taking the minutes. Could you please call roll?
Trustee Harn.
Present.
Trustee Carter.
Present.
Trustee Mariscal.
Present.
Trustee Cumming.
Present.
Trustee Reichert.
Present.
Trustee Fuller.
Present.
Thank you very much. First order of business tonight is the approval of the Board of Trustees minutes for October 18th, 2016. Are there any changes that need to be made to the minutes?
I move that we approve the minutes as submitted.
Have a motion from Trustee Cumming.
Second.
Second from Trustee Mariscal. All those in favor of approving the Board of Trustees minutes for October 18th, 2016 as submitted, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say no. Thank you. The ayes have it, and the board has approved the Board of Trustees minutes for October 18th as submitted. Our next order of business tonight is the approval of the Board of Trustees minutes for November 1st, 2016. Are there any changes that need to be made to the minutes?
I move we approve the minutes for November 1st as submitted.
Have a motion from Trustee Reichert.
Second.
Second from Trustee Carter. All those in favor of approving the Board of Trustees minutes for November 1st, 2016 as submitted, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say no. Thank you. The ayes have it, and the board has approved the Board of Trustees minutes for November 1st, 2016 as submitted. Next order of business tonight is correspondence. Mr. Administrator, anything you know that might be on the correspondence front?
No correspondence this evening, Mr. Mayor.
All righty, thank you. No announcements had come to my brain right now, so we'll move on to the trustee reports. And then first up will be Economic Development Village Improvements, and that will be presented by Trustee Carter.
Thank you. I don't really have anything to report other than just a reminder that in December that we have our Christmas walk and our, I can't remember what they call the chocolate.
Chocolate in the Heights.
Chocolate in the Heights. Gosh, I can't
You probably know the date.
believe I forgot that. I don't remember, what's the actual days on that? Do you guys know?
Let me see if I put that in my calendar here.
It's usually the first or second weekend in December.
I'm going to say that Chocolate in the Heights is going to be on the 10th, maybe? I know it's the 10th or 17th. I apologize. I'm not
No problem.
entirely sure on that, but we'll find out from the chamber. But Christmas walk will be on, should be on the 3rd.
We'll get all those
So
dates.
December 3rd. We won't have another
Yeah,
meeting.
will be the Christmas walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be the
Until
3rd and the
then, but
10th is Chocolate.
Check
in the
our
Heights, I
website
think.
out. It'll be on our website.
And the chamber's
Exact dates.
website, yeah.
And the chamber
Facebook
website,
page.
yeah. That's all I have.
Although actually, if it is December 3rd, this is our final meeting before that, so. Yeah, check the website. All righty.
Thank you.
Is that it then?
Yeah.
Okay, any questions at all for Trustee Carter? All right, thank you again. We'll move to the Police Department with Trustee Fuller.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. I have nothing to report this evening.
All right, thank you very much. We'll move to Village Hall Property Maintenance with Trustee Mariscal.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. I have nothing to report this evening.
All right, thank you very much. We'll go to the Fire Department with Trustee Reichert.
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing tonight.
All righty, thank you very much. We'll move to Public Works with Trustee Harn.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. I just have one thing to talk about real quick. We have people burning leaves in the street here and there, and we ask that people not do that because it softens the road wherever they're burning, and it creates potholes and kind of tears our streets up. So please don't do it.
Yeah, other than that, it's a real fun thing to do.
Yeah. Burn them in your yard, burn them in a barrel. That's all good.
Burn, baby,
It's not in
burn.
the street.
All righty. And that's it then tonight?
Yes. We're not.
All right. Any questions at all for Trustee Harn? Okay, thank you very much. And we'll close out with administration personnel with Trustee Cumming.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. I have nothing this evening.
All right, thank you, everyone. Comments from the audience? Charlie? No, sir. Charlie Schneider is here from the high school, learning how not to run government. But we thank you for attending. And Roberta, I know you have something on your mind? No. Okay, that's be the next meeting. Okay. April, anything?
I'm okay.
All right. Well, we thank everyone for attending. No old business tonight, so we're going to move to new business. And first up is ordinance 2016-1489, which will be presented by Trustee Harn.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Allen. Ordinance number 2016-1489, providing for the borrowing of not more than $1,500,000 from Morton Community Bank, locally known as Heights Community Bank. November 15, 2016. The background on this, the Public Works Director, Smith, identified the need to borrow up to $1,500,000 to finance key water infrastructure system repairs, which include $800,000 full interior and exterior refurbishment of the 3 water towers, low-level observation tower, and the Toledo Tower. $300,000 to replace the Roosevelt water main, which it was for a little while there, it was breaking about every 50 hours, it was breaking. We have 15 houses down there that were pretty much without water for a while. $100,000 to refurbish well number 9, $300,000 for the completion of the residential water meter replacement program. The loan proposal. The staff received 2 loan proposals from local banks and is recommending acceptance of the proposal submitted by Morton Community Bank, locally known as Heights Community Bank, under the following terms. $1,500,000 drawdown loan, which means we'll only take money out as we need it, so we're not paying interest on the whole loan until we need it, and we'll only use the amount of money that's required to do the work. There will be a 3.02% annual interest. It will be a 15-year fixed-term loan, which is nice because all of the repairs on the towers should last at least 20 years. So we'll at least get 5 years of what we've done paid for without having to worry about it. And hopefully it lasts longer than that. The water main that we're going to replace really should last the rest of our life, really. I mean, it's a big, heavy, the plastic's about this thick, and it's all welded plastic. All the joints are welded. It's one continuous water main. There's no joints in it. So hopefully that'll last pretty much for the rest of our lives, I hope. So unless somebody breaks it or we have an earthquake or who knows. But the monthly loan payments will be $10,404.02 after we've drawn all of the money. The debt service, the village will be required to irrevocably pledge its full faith and credit toward the debt service of the loan and to appropriate funds of the village annually and in a timely manner so as to provide for the making of payments when due under the terms of the note. Staff recommendations obligating the Infrastructure Maintenance Fund, the INF, for loan debt service for the following reasons. Monthly INF receipts average $12,500, which exceeds monthly loan payments over $2,000. Current INF fund balance is $72,019.15, providing a loan payment reserve should they be necessary. The INF charge was established specifically for projects such as those described above. And that's pretty much it. We have the ordinance on file, so if anyone wants to come up to the Village Hall and look at the ordinance, they're welcome to. That's about it for right now. I make a motion, we approve the loan payment for $1,500,000, well, the loan payment, the loan for up to $1,500,000. Sorry, it makes me a little nervous, a lot of money.
We have a motion from Trustee Harn,
Second.
second from Trustee Cumming. Are there any questions or comments from the board before the board votes? I think it's a very expansive but necessary items and I think it's being proactive. To a degree, it's reactive because of the aging system that we have, as we all know about. And I think it's a good start to addressing the big issues. So tip of the Peoria Heights fedora to Director Smith and Administrator Fick for getting the ball rolling and checking out and getting the best loan rates and getting this progress underway.
Yeah, the village over the years has been pretty proactive on all of their water main things. Big pieces come up at one time like they are right now, but over the years, we've done things like generators and different things, and water mains have been replaced, but this is where we're really taking the bull by the horns, because we kind of have to. Things are getting to a point where they really need to be repaired, so it's all, it's better to have a plan in place than trying to play catch-up, so
Right.
this is what we're doing.
Because it's not going to get better on its own. It'll only cost more in the years to come and make things worse. So
Exactly.
do it now.
Yep.
Great. Any other questions or comments from the board? Okay, once again, this is for board approval of ordinance 2016-1489, providing for the village to borrow not more than $1,500,000 from Morton Community Bank for all of the infrastructure items for the water department, et cetera, outlined by Trustee Harn. Mr. Administrator, would you please call roll?
Trustee Harn?
Aye.
Trustee Carter?
Aye.
Trustee Mariscal?
Aye.
Trustee Cumming?
Aye.
Trustee Reichert?
Aye.
Trustee Fuller?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. By a vote of 6-0, the board has approved ordinance 2016-1489 as outlined by Trustee Harn. Our next order of new business tonight is an authorization to approve a quote in the amount of $296,200 for the water main replacement on Roosevelt Lane. That will be presented by Trustee Harn.
Okay, thank you, Marilyn. Part of the loan that we just described is for a water main replacement on Roosevelt, and that water main has just been breaking continuously. We have a leak going right now as we speak. I'm making a motion that we approve Hares putting in a new water main, and all of the houses will be reconnected. There's 15 houses down through there, and they will all be reconnected to the new water main as part of this quote. So I make a motion that we approve Hares doing the water main replacement on Roosevelt Lane for the amount of $296,200.
I have a motion from Trustee Harn,
Second.
second from Trustee Carter. Are there any questions or comments from the board before the board votes?
I do have a question. They're going to get started on this like right away, so it'll be done by the time it freezes and winter comes?
That's part of why we're trying to move so quickly with this. Well, I think one other thing to add is that this is being deemed an emergency. As Trustee Harn alluded to, we've had a pretty terrible past month up there with the number of breaks. We've had those residents out of water almost more than they have had water, which is not good. And the issue up there is compounded further by the fact that every time it breaks, it's just such a difficult repair. We don't have the equipment in the village to actually make the repairs. It's so deep, and because of the topography on the hill, so we're continuing to bleed money trying to repair this thing, and that's part of this in deeming this an emergency, is just so that we can try and get going on this. A lot of this is going to be bored into place, and once it starts getting to freezing and below, it affects their ability to use their boring rig because of the fluids and whatnot that they use on that machine. So we're trying to get moving on this as soon as possible. It's not the way typically that we like to do things. We're comfortable with Hare. They've been handling a lot of the repairs up there for us. They did just competitively bid and win our big Atlantic water main replacement this past year. So that's kind of where we're at. It's just an effort to get going sooner rather than later in hopes that we can try and get this repaired before winter time.
How long is it expected to take?
Hopefully 3 to 4 weeks.
So I understand it's an emergency, and I appreciate that, but so there's no other bids?
Correct.
For a $300,000 project, we have one bid?
Yes, that's what we have.
That seems like not a best practice.
I agree, Trustee Fuller. So typically, the way we do it is we hire an engineer and he'd draw up plans.
Yeah.
And that would take months.
That's the big issue.
And we bid
No,
it
I
out.
understand, I understand it's emergency,
yeah.
but, I mean, this bid is dated November 1st, so it's 2 weeks after that, so it's not exactly like, we got this in at midnight last night. I'm not arguing against the project, I'm just saying, for a $300,000 project, I think it's a good idea to have more than one bid, so it's not just like we're, giving contracts to companies, right?
This has essentially been a design build project where we've just been working hand in hand with Hare to kind of design this project on the fly, actually out on site. If we want to open this up to bid, that's fine. That's certainly typically the way we would handle
Yeah.
business. We don't have specs drawn up. There hasn't been an engineer involved at this point. So we don't have a manual or a book or anything that we can actually put out for bid.
I understand that, and I understand the nature of the emergency, but I just don't want to end up going through that $1.5 million and just giving it all to one company under the guise that it's all an emergency. You know what I mean?
Well, nothing
I-
else is being deemed an emergency.
Well, I know, but it's, okay, I'll repeat again, I think it's a good practice to have a $300,000 project open to bids. I think that is just a standard procedure that we usually follow. Now, if this is an emergency, then it's an emergency, but again, this bid is dated 2 weeks ago, so I don't know what an emergency is.
Well, I don't think you wanted to take the bid to the board until we had the loan agreement in place. There's no way to
That's
pay
correct.
for it,
There was
even
no
if we
money
did
to
approve it, so.
There was no money to pay for it, so it was moved to bring it to the board, I guess, 2 weeks ago when this was put together. We knew we couldn't get started until we had the money, but.
But I mean,
they-
if you could get one bid 2 weeks ago, you could probably have gotten two bids, right?
Well, like I just said, there are no specifications. I mean, this was a design build. I've been working hand in hand with Hare, just physically walking the site to come up with this bid. So I would need to go through that with other folks. And even then, it wouldn't be a fair process because it would just be whoever I think to call
Yeah.
up. It wouldn't be advertised.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at. To me, that looks even worse if I just call a handful of folks and ask them to bid. I mean, if we're going to go out to bid, it needs to be a full bid, open to everybody from here to
Yeah.
Texas.
Right.
And that's just not where we're at right now. But we certainly can. I don't like operating this way either. Like I said, we have a certain degree of comfort with Hare because they have been the ones helping us make all the repairs up there. And they did just competitively win a bid for a very similar project, and they were by far the low.
Yeah, I've got nothing against Tara, I've got nothing against the project. The process of just handing out.
Yeah, and I think,
It's like that, it just
like
seems-
everyone has said, ideally, it's not the way to do it, without question. And the fact that it is an out-of-the-ordinary situation, and we're taking it on right before wintertime is starting to set in, I think that I would just ask the board to understand that this is an out-of-the-ordinary problem.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get exacerbated as time goes on, plus the weather on top of it, and we all understand that in the future, everything else that we have of anything, of any consequence, will go out for bid. We'll
I
have
agree.
specs drawn up, but this thing it's not the way we want to do it, but it's like, we want to get this done.
Yeah.
Trustee Fuller, I would just add as well that I do still have to work with the EPA on this as well. And we're beginning that process right now to get this deemed an emergency through them. If that doesn't work and that all grinds to a halt and they say this thing, it needs to be engineered, we're not willing to just come out and do field inspections on the fly, that sort of thing, the whole process is going to grind to a stop. At that point, we may as well engineer it and send it out to bid and just do it next spring.
Okay.
So I mean, there really still is one more hurdle.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not against the project, I have nothing against Tara, they do good work and everything, but as we start to spend this money, I think it's a good procedure, good practice
Yeah.
to just get used to going out to bid. I know this is an emergency and it's hopefully,
This is
isolated.
it's a one-time situation. I think we're
Yeah.
all in agreement with that. This is not going to be happening with the water towers or anything else. It's not an emergency
No, I mean,
beyond this.
the water towers, we have full specs on those
Yeah.
to go out
Right.
for bid next spring when we're looking to actually do that work. Our water meters, we have a vendor that we're already working with, but that was all decided 2 years ago when we started the water meter project. Same with the wells. I mean, we have a vendor that we went through this process a couple of years ago when we first started rebuilding wells. So,
No, I appreciate what you guys are doing too. I know these are non-standard situations and it's tough to do everything like that. And so I appreciate the work you're doing and I appreciate getting this done quickly. Obviously, they need to get water, but I just wanted to make the point that.
Yeah, and, I think everyone's in agreement with you, but it's a special situation that calls for out of the ordinary handling of it.
Plus, anytime we do have to have repairs come out, it's like $5,000-$6,000, and they've been out a lot, because
Yeah.
the main's just so deep, it's actually leaking right now, and we're not really sure what to do about it. So we're kind of waiting, because we don't want to put another $5,000 or $6,000 in if we're
Yeah.
going to do this. If we're not, if the EPA comes in and says, no, without the plans, then you're stuck, then we're just going to have to put up with paying for repairs for the winter, but it is kind of yeah, I agree with you, and what you just said, Kyle and I just had that conversation before we started talking about it.
I wasn't trying to, say that we shouldn't do this project or anything, but.
No, I know.
There's no
I
Cub
know.
game tonight, so I can talk all I want, right?
Yeah. No, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
I just think, you will get no argument. I'm not happy about it either. I mean, there
Yeah.
are so many other places in the village that need $300,000 worth of work. We've got a water main here that serves just a few households, but it is an important connection.
Oh,
for
people need-
our
people need
top
water,
and
yeah.
bottom portion of our water system. The issue is Roosevelt Road was lost many years ago whenever this landslide or whatever happened up there was, and it's just not even, it just isn't passable. It's just a really poor situation to be in. It's kind of no win anyway.
Any other questions or comments? We did have a motion, correct?
Yes, we have
Trustee
a
Harn,
second.
And a second?
From Carter.
Trustee Carter. Okay, no further questions or comments from the board, so once again, this is for board approval of the quote from Hare Incorporated for $296,200 for the water main replacement on Roosevelt Road, as outlined by Trustee Harn. Mr. Administrator, would you please call roll?
Trustee Harn.
Aye.
Trustee Carter.
Aye.
Trustee Mariscal.
Aye.
Trustee Cumming.
Aye.
Trustee Reichert.
Aye.
Trustee Fuller.
Aye.
Thank you. By a vote of 6-0, the board has approved the quote in the amount of $296,200 for the water main replacement on Roosevelt Road, as outlined by Trustee Harn, and then we'll just be kept abreast of what the details are regarding the EPA and all that stuff to make sure everything is
Yeah, hopefully we'll know more at the December meeting, and we can certainly report back.
okay. Thank you very much. We'll move now to a special use permit renewal for Chuck's Auto Sales, and that will be presented by Trustee Carter.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to table this to our departmental meeting and discuss this before we make a motion to approve it, because he is non-compliant. So I make a motion to table Chuck Auto Sales special use permit.
Okay, we have a motion from Trustee Carter.
Second.
Second from Trustee Mariscal. Any questions or comments from the board before the board votes? Okay, all those in favor of tabling the special use permit renewal for Chuck's Auto Sales to a future meeting, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say no. Thank you, the ayes have it. We will table the special use permit renewal to a future meeting. Next order of new business tonight is a special use permit renewal for Katie's Cars, and that will be presented by Trustee Carter.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd also like to table this to discuss at our departmental meeting, because he is also not compliant.
Okay, have a motion from Trustee Carter, a second from Trustee Cumming. Okay. Any questions or comments from the board before the board votes? Okay, all those in favor of tabling the special use permit renewal for Katie's Cars to a future meeting, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say no. Thank you, the ayes have it, and the special use permit renewal for Katie's Cars will be moved to a future meeting, as outlined by Trustee Carter. November is the National American Indian Heritage Month, which is kind of important for our area because of the strong presence that indigenous American Indians had, North American Indians had for so many years in this area. So if you'll stay with me, I'm going to go ahead and read the proclamation. Whereas the history and culture of our great nation has been significantly influenced by American Indians and indigenous peoples, and whereas the contributions of American Indians have enhanced the freedom, prosperity, and greatness of America today, and whereas their customs and traditions are respected and celebrated as part of a rich legacy throughout the United States, and whereas Native American Awareness Week began in 1976 and recognition was expanded by Congress and approved by President George Bush in August 1990, designating the month of November as National American Indian Heritage Month, and whereas in honor of National American Indian Heritage Month, community celebrations as well as numerous cultural, artistic, educational, and historical activities have been planned. Therefore, I, Mark Allen, Mayor of the Village of Peoria Heights, do hereby proclaim November as a National American Indian Heritage Month in the Village of Peoria Heights and urge all of our citizens to observe this month with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. Need a motion from the board to approve this proclamation as read.
So moved.
Have a motion from Trustee Cumming. Second. Second from Trustee Mariscal. Any questions or comments from the board before the board votes? Okay, once again, this is for board approval of the Peoria Heights National American Indian Heritage Month proclamation as read. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say no. Thank you. The board has approved the proclamation recognizing National American Indian Heritage Month in Peoria Heights for November. Next order of business tonight is the Treasurer's Report, which will be read tonight by Administrator Fick.
This is the Treasurer's Report for the month of October, submitted by Treasurer Stephanie Turner. Village accounts, general fund is $882,089.20. Motor fuel tax, $95,771.86. Police drug savings, $555.89. Tax increment finance, $90,114.08. Help flex care spending, $16,939.45. Bond project, $863.29, grand total in the village, $1,086,333.75. And I'm not going to read all these for the next one. So in the waterworks accounts, the grand total is $545,064.61.
Thank you very much. Are there any